All right, I think I am live. Hopefully, get some people here in the chat in just a sec. But let's see. Let's see. From there, let me move this a little bit here so it's out of the way. Hey, what's going on, Alex Plush Bros? How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. Oh, you found the second channel. Awesome. Awesome. It's funny because I actually linked it in the description below for you guys that want to know about my second channel. I want to subscribe to that one. It's linked in the description of this video, or it will be. So be on the lookout for that if you guys want to check it out. Hey, big cool guy, New Day. How you doing? Hey, everyone. What is going on? All right. So I haven't seen Kamen Rider Geo, but I will get around to that. But just so you guys know, I did finally watch the 25th anniversary episode of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel, Dimensions in Danger. Hey, what's going on, Patty Murphy? Welcome to the stream here. I did finally watch the episode, and I have some thoughts on it. I'm actually surprised at some of the things that I'm about to say here regarding that episode. Now, of course, the best by far, the gold standard, at least for me, in terms, and I would say, and I say this very loosely because, of course, it had its issues and its flaws as well. Obviously, the gold standard of an anniversary episode, I would say, is probably Forever Red. And I'm pretty sure that's the general consensus with most people that have seen the anniversary episodes of Power Rangers. For a lot of people, that's number one on the list. And rightfully so. I think they found a good way to balance out everybody's roles in that particular episode. Now, in this one, I will say that I actually expected it to be much more of a Tommy show than it was, but it actually wasn't as much. I mean, of course, he still plays a very central part in it. Of course, the story starts off with his disappearance and all that, and it is a episode that is heavily centralized on Tommy. It's not as bad as it could have been. I thought that they did a good job of giving Jason Font, Wes from Time Force. He actually played a pretty significant role in it, I would say. Obviously, still more of a secondary role to Tommy, but I was actually surprised that he got as much speaking lines and was as involved as he was in this episode. So that's one thing that really surprised me. And that some of the other Rangers got a bit more speaking lines than I thought that they would, but they still, at the end of the day, they had their ones that they were going to focus on primarily for this special, which is fine. And they got, I guess, what would be their fair amount of screen time. The whole thing with the Tommy Morpher, that's something that, of course, I had known beforehand. A lot of people were talking about it. I really felt that when the whole Master Morpher scene came out, I really felt like, I don't know why, but when he said, well, you don't, when he was talking to the evil robot Tommy, and he's like, well, you don't have a Master Morpher, and then took it out and like they showed it. Oh man, I was waiting for a little like caption to come up underneath that said available in stores in 2019. You know what I mean? It really felt like the way they focused on the Master Morpher is that they are kind of like preemptively starting a marketing campaign for the Master Morpher. So, I mean, that's what it felt like to me. The way it was presented more in a way of like, hey, look, this is a toy that you're going to be able to get in the future. Take a look at how cool it is and what you're going to be able to do with it, even though it's just really a repaint of a Morpher that you've already seen. So it really felt like them emphasizing on the Master Morpher was just one big, just preemptive commercial for the Master Morpher, the way it was presented. So, I mean, it's fine. Like I said, it's cool. It's whatever. I mean, in the sense of how, all right, look, you would think a guy like Tommy that's been this many Rangers, and the fact that he was a scientist, that he would have figured out a way to, just make a Morpher they could access all of his former powers. But it was just, it really came across as really a like I said, a preemptive marketing campaign for the Master Morpher. So when that when that comes out, man, you know, they've already laid the groundwork for a commercial for the Master Morpher with this episode. I thought, it just, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't a terrible. I could see where people see that it felt rushed, but to that I would say yes, of course. But it's a 22-minute episode. I mean, there's not really a lot that you can do in 22 minutes. I mean, yes, they could have probably fleshed out the story a little bit better. I understand, you know, the villain just felt like a very throwaway villain. It just, you know, obviously from the way everything was presented, it never felt at any point in time, at least to me, that he was really a legitimate threat at all. And I think that was probably one of the problems with the writing for this episode, is that he never felt at all all that menacing. I would say that the Rita and Zed's son in the 15th, I think it was the 15th anniversary episode, he felt much more menacing and threatening than Dravon did. You know, is it Dravon or Draven, something like that? He didn't really feel menacing at all. He didn't really feel like he didn't exude any kind of threat to me, I guess would be what I would say. Hey, Luke, now what's going on? Welcome to the stream. He just really didn't feel like, you know, he felt like a whatever villain. He didn't feel like he didn't have a presence of a lot of evil to me. Like I said, Rita and Zed and Lord Zed's son at least looked very menacing, and at least gave off some type of a menacing and evil presence. I didn't really feel that with this character. I felt that he felt just like a very throwaway character. So that was the other thing about him as a villain. Overall, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't great. I guess it's good that a lot of the Ranger actors, at least this time around, actually got some speaking roles, even if it was only 1 or 2 sentences that they got in. I really felt that, and maybe a little bit of my own personal bias comes into this, but I really felt a little bit out of place for Rocky to come back as the Red Ranger. I don't know why. It just didn't really. It felt like he was just there to put on the red costume to, you know, because that's the most recognizable costume of the entire franchise, is the Red Ranger costume. So it really felt like it was just kind of put in there to be in there. It really didn't feel all that significant with him wearing it. I mean, it's good that Rocky came back for a little bit. It's cool to see that he's still around and he's able to do that. But it just really felt like it was just there to remind people that, you know, this is the most recognizable costume. When people see that red helmet, it reminds them of, they immediately associate it to Power Rangers. So let me see a couple of people asking questions here. I'll get to your questions in a moment. I'm just trying to give like an overall review, and then we'll open it up to a discussion and questions here. Anniversary from best to worst, Forever Red, Dimensions in Danger, Once a Ranger, Legendary Battle. Oshawott, man, that's probably the way I would rate him. So far. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to rate him. It probably is the next best anniversary episode. But it's still, it has its flaws. They definitely need to do something here in the near future, though, where they need to break away from really trying to weave everything around the Tommy character. I get that he's an important character to the series because of the fact, and he's obviously the most well-known Power Rangers actor, and the fact that he's been so many different Rangers is significant. But there's other Rangers that have put on different Ranger costumes too, and it would be cool to see some of them step up and kind of lead this new generation as well. It doesn't always have to be Tommy, but let me see. Power Rangers fight together alongside, all right. Yeah, I mean, Austin St. John should have definitely been in there. But here's the thing. I think that if they bring back Austin St. John, they need to do an episode where it's Austin St. John and, you know, the Jason character, and there is no Tommy character. That's what I think. I think there needs to be there needs to be you know, something where they just have him be the one to lead kind of the charge for things. I think that would be the best way to do it. The best way to handle a return of the character of Jason. So, what is your anniversary episodes ranked? Well, I would, Oshawott man, I would rank them very similarly to you, at least for now. But then again, I don't know. See, the thing is, there was a lot of things that I actually liked about Once a Ranger that I liked more than Dimensions and Danger. So I might switch the placing of those two. I would probably say Once a Ranger is probably my number 2. It would go Forever Red, Once a Ranger, then Dimensions and Danger, then Legendary Battle. So I would say that, there's just a little bit more that I liked about Once a Ranger than I did with Dimensions in Danger. And Dimensions in Danger, or I would at the very least, kind of rank them the same. But it was okay. It was not terrible, but it definitely was not great. The biggest takeaway, like I said, for me from the entire episode was that it just felt like they were really just laying the groundwork to sell that Master Morpher. The way that they really emphasized on it felt like they were just, they're just prepping for a release of that particular Morpher. That's what it felt like. It felt like, especially just the way they presented it and did it. Just the whole, well, you don't have this, and just, the fact that they showed him, which I thought was completely unnecessary for him to have to change from one color to 2 color to the 3rd color all in succession. If he had done it, if Tommy had changed to different Rangers throughout the course of the episode to kind of, for certain situations, that would have made a little bit more sense. Like how he transformed into the White Ranger towards the end of the episode, that kind of made a little bit more sense, because then he could summon the Falcon Zord. So that's the only time that actually made sense. But when he was fighting the other enemy, like the robot, I mean, it seemed like he seemed to have things well enough under control where that he really didn't need to transform into those other Ranger colors. That's what I thought. So that's one thing that I didn't care for. I thought that was a little bit kind of overkill for him to have to transform from Red Zeo. Hey, look, remember, I used to be Red Zeo. Hey, look, I used to be the White Ranger too. Hey, look, I used to be the Green Ranger too. I mean, it would have flowed better if it had been him changing to meet the particular situations, not necessarily that particular battle. Like, I mean, if it was a thing where the robot itself had different powers, which it didn't seem like it did outside of just being able to transform into the Black Ranger. I mean, but if it had like, different kind of weaponry, that would make a little bit more sense. But I don't know. It felt forced to me. So, all in all, it was okay. Not great. Kat really was, I mean, she said a couple lines. She had really no kind of, I'm surprised that they didn't take the opportunity to have some kind of familiarity between her and Tommy. It's like they didn't even know each other. I mean, I don't recall any point throughout the course of the episode where he even looked her way and acknowledged her. You know what I mean? The only person he seemed to acknowledge throughout the whole thing was Wes. That's it. So that was kind of weird. I mean, I would think that at the very least, you would have had enough time to maybe do a little wink and nod, at Catherine, or just, or something. You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Did they have a bad breakup or something? So it was just, there's a lot of things I felt that they could have done better in the episode. But again, look, hey, it's only 22 minutes. It's only 22 minutes long, and it's really, it's supposed to be more about the Ninja Steel team. I mean, it is their season, so, but it was okay. Went to karate class this afternoon. Awesome. She was my favorite character. How did you feel about Catherine coming back? Like I said, I felt like they could have. It was cool to see her again, but it felt like they wasted her being there. Just like it kind of felt like they wasted Rocky being there a little bit too. It just felt like they were just there, just to kind of fill up space on the roster. I mean, like I said, at least they got the benefit of actually having dialogue. But I mean, that was cool when he summoned the white, the white Falcon sword, because it made sense for the situation. So that was okay. That was fine. Yeah, Adam Watkins. It probably would have served them to do a little bit more of that. Yeah, that Trent didn't get any lines. He got a line at the very end. He said like one thing, but yeah, exactly. They still look. It's still not a perfect science, and when you're dealing with that many actors outside of just the actual main cast, it's going to be hard for them to really have time to say anything that's going to be significant. You know, so yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kimberly should have showed up. Oh, Kimberly and Cat over Tommy. Yeah, hey, you never know. That might still happen in the future. But it was just weird. It was weird that the only person he seemed to acknowledge, I mean, he acknowledged some of the other Rangers kind of sort of in passing, but the ones that he should know very, very well, the ones that he's like, should be very buddy-buddy with. I mean, I think he mentioned Rocky. He said something to Rocky just once, but kind of in passing. But, he wasn't as chummy with the people you would expect him to be chummy with, the people that he was on teams with. So yeah, I guess not. Willis Grayman. You right about that. What's the point? Kimberly broke up with Tommy writing it. Yeah, she basically broke up with him about hello. Are we back? Okay, I think lost y'all for a moment there. I think I'm back on here though. Yeah, I had a little bit of technical difficulties there. So what's the last thing you guys heard from me? Are you guys not getting any video? All right, hold on. Let me see what the heck is going on here. Not sure what's going on, why y'all can't see me. Okay, what was the last thing you guys heard me say before it went off? And then okay, all right, so I'm back. All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened, y'all. I guess there was some kind of lag spike and it dropped the stream. But hopefully there won't be any more of that. So yeah, like I was saying, all in all, not terrible, but it was all right. I can't sit here and say that it was the worst anniversary episode. And like I said, the things that surprised me the most about it, I would say, were the fact that It wasn't as Tommy centric as I thought it was going to be, although it still kind of was. And you know, it just it really felt like a commercial for the Master Morpher. But you know, it was okay. It was all right for what it was. It was okay. I mean, you know, hopefully next time around when they do a 25th anniversary episode, I think that what they should do is really start building it up earlier on in the season, you know, and really build up on them a little bit better. I mean, that way I think you could flesh things out a little bit better, and that way people that feel that things like this are rushed, there'll be more of a payoff because they can build towards whatever enemy it is that they're facing, and hopefully they could kind of supplant an enemy that is going to feel a little bit more menacing and threatening. Because really, that was the other thing too. One of my other bigger takeaways from this episode was the enemy was just, he didn't feel threatening at all. He just felt like he felt super lackluster, really lame. A lot of people have compared a little bit of this to almost a watered down like offshoot of the Shattered Grid story arc, you know, using an evil Tommy doppelganger in it, you know. So even though it wasn't really an evil version of Tommy, it was just a robot that was acting like Tommy. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way that you do about them not, you know, really knowing how to handle the franchise anymore. And that's the good thing about Hasbro taking it over, is that they'll have the opportunity to, again, you know, they'll have the opportunity to really work on the things that all the problems, I guess you could say, that Saban had with Power Rangers. They can work on them, so they could do the exact opposite. All right. Well, it seems like it only ties in with Shattered Grid in the sense of the whole Rangers being from different dimensions thing. And I have no problem with that. I have no problem with them saying that there are Rangers from other dimensions, because that honestly, that fixes any kind of continuity issues that Power Rangers has as a whole in a way. I mean, there's still always going to be continuity issues, but that kind of cleans that up a little bit. That's kind of like a very easy way to say, well, the reason why it's not, you know, why there's not good continuity is because all these shows, or a good majority of these shows, take place in different dimensions anyways. So that's cool that they did that. Why didn't they have a previous villain or someone related? See, that's the thing. I don't know. And that's the thing. He felt exactly. I agree with you, Willis Grayman. He felt super generic. It never once, like, at least with the guys that were in Forever Red, they had a plan, they had a purpose, and they had, you know, they felt like they could at least pull it off. They were a little bit more believable as a threat. They felt a little bit more viable as a threat. This guy he just never felt like menacing. He never felt like he could actually do what he was going to set out to do. So I'll probably watch that first episode. And hey, what's going on, Jesus Saros? How you doing? I will probably watch that and maybe give you guys my take on that. You're okay, Ashwat, man. Just wonder what happened to Saban Power Rangers. Yeah, I mean, well, look, again, Hasbro has an opportunity to do all the things that Saban should have probably done, but we'll have to wait and see how they handle everything. So, all right, we're going to go for about 10 more minutes, then I'm going to wrap it up. This was always meant to be kind of a short stream for tonight, because I just really wanted to kind of give my thoughts on the episode. But yeah, now I've seen it. Now you guys know what I think about it. Let's see, Vinny792 says, really considering the premiere on Prime, it should have ran along with yeah, that probably would have helped it, but you know, it's a kid show. What can you do? you know, Nickelodeon wants them the way they want them. So, because you got to remember, if they would have made an hour-long episode, they would have had to make sure that was okay with Nickelodeon too, because Nickelodeon then has to block out a whole hour's time just for Power Rangers. So, yeah, but you got to remember, I mean, the characters that were in the Power Rangers 2017 movie are just because they cameoed in the Power Rangers 2017 movie doesn't necessarily mean that their cameo is as Kimberly and Tommy. They could have just been just random people. So you're playing the RoboCop game. Which one, for the NES? Oh, nice. What do I think about Tommy having a kid? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you have to think that by this point, you know, a lot of the Rangers should have families and should have kids by now. So I have no problem with that. I'm not sure that they'll ever show him, but no problem. Did I like the episode? Antonio Valdivia, I thought it was okay. Nothing great, nothing to write home about. It was all right. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent towards it. I'm feeling kind of neutral about it. It was okay. I liked it better than the Legendary Battle episode. I liked it better than that. So, primarily because it's a villain from. Okay, see, there you go. See, but they could have built him up a little bit better. The camera could say that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Look, Cat. Y'all see me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? It says I'm still broadcasting. So weird. You can hear me, but you can't see me. I wonder why it's doing that. Hold on. I'm trying to fix it, guys. Just bear with me. I'll answer some of these questions, though, in the meantime. Let's see. Are you going to watch El Ranger now that it's subbed? I'll check it out at some point. I like it better than the Legendary Battle. Yeah, I think a lot of people do like it better than the Legendary Battle. So you should probably wait for the Soul of the Dragon graphic novel later this year. I want to see an episode call. Let's see. Become a Ranger. All right, let me see. I guess YouTube. Yeah, I guess not. I guess they don't like me talking about Power Rangers at all. So, all right, now you guys see me. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to wrap up the stream here soon, actually, because I'm getting a lot of issue here with staying online. So, but I just wanted to give you guys my overall thoughts. For those of you that wanted to know what my other channel is, link is in the description below. It's Johnimus Prime for you guys that want to check it out. It's in the description. I'm going to be uploading some videos onto that channel in a couple days here. You know, so be sure to subscribe to that channel if you want to keep up to date with some of my video making. I'm going to be actually doing an unboxing video of this. This is a magic, This is a Magic the Gathering starter deck from 1995. This is a 4th edition starter deck, and I actually got a pretty good deal on it. So I'm hoping to do an unboxing video of this on my other channel there. It's in pretty good shape for the most part. So this is from 1995. So this is over 20 years old. You can see it's completely sealed. And I'm also going to be doing, me and my buddy Jason are going to be doing unboxing videos of the Dominaria pre-release packs. We got a bunch of these. So we're going to be doing an unboxing video of these. So for those of you that are interested in Magic the Gathering or any other TCGs, tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. If I do, for those of you that want to know whenever I'm streaming, I always tweet it out before I go live. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, or I'll post it on Facebook as well. I usually announce when I'm going to be going live. So let's see. Have you seen the Death Battle Thunder Megazord versus Burning Gundam earlier? No, I haven't seen that. I saw the other one though. I think it was, didn't they do a death battle between Voltron and the Megazord? I believe it was Death Battle that did Voltron versus Megazord, and Voltron won, of course, which I pegged Voltron to win it. So if you don't have Twitter or Facebook, I'll put the post here on YouTube. Just check the YouTube. I've gotten used to doing like the little post thing that it lets you do now on YouTube that announces when, you know, you can make like posts like how you do on Facebook or some of the other ones. So just check your subscription feeds and you'll be able to see that when I post stuff like that. So Decamaster fan, I'm going to probably watch that too pretty soon here and give some thoughts on it. Not tonight, but here in the near future, I'll give my initial thoughts on Kamen Rider Geo once I've actually watched the first episode. So, but like I said, for those of you that are into TCGs, whether it be Magic the Gathering or whether it be some of these other ones that are out there like Fight Card or Card Fight Vanguard and Dragon Ball Super, the card game. All right. Can you all hear me? I'm not sure if it's live again. Can you guys hear me? Anyone hear me? Hear me? Hello? All right, you guys can hear me. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just call this stream here because I'm getting way too many technical difficulties tonight, and I guess maybe somebody is maybe somebody is not happy with my opinion on this particular video. Maybe the powers that be are not happy with my review of the Power Rangers 25th anniversary episode. Hopefully that is not the case, because I don't want to live in a world where you can't give an opinion about a kids TV show without being silenced. But I'll go ahead and call the stream here. But just for those of you that want to keep up to date with me, like I said, just check back on either Facebook, Twitter, or check the post here on YouTube, so that you all can see when I'm going to be doing the next live stream. And for those of you, like I said, that want to check out my other channel with other content where I do more TCG, comic book, and just more of a just random commentary on certain things. Check out my other channel. It is Jonimus Prime. Link is in the description below. In the next couple days here, I'll be uploading a video where I do an unboxing of this, and me and my buddy Jason are going to be doing unboxing videos of this. But we'll also be doing a bunch of other card game stuff. But we'll go ahead and call it right there. Thank you all for joining me. We'll do this again really soon. I appreciate you all as always. You all have a great night, and I will talk to you again real soon.